I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags, and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Good morning, everyone. It's March 8th, 2021. I'm Eric. So, we're all born with the power of discernment. And the powers that be would like you to ignore your own instincts, your own inner voice, if you will, regarding all kinds of information, especially medical information, especially war information, especially woke information. They want you to ignore what your gut is telling you in favor of Google or Wikipedia. You know, the assholes responsible for that context box underneath many videos out there, even though Wikipedia is often full of shit. Just like the politicians. So, in today's video, there's numerous things I'd like to get to. However, the second part of this video will not be able to go up on YouTube. Because after all, they don't want you digging into any rabbit holes. But to give you an idea of what we're going to talk about in that second half. Now, I'm not going to get into any details, because again, I'll get banned. But I will show you what I'm going to be talking about, and hopefully that motivates you to go on over to Odyssey and BitChute and to check out the remaining part of the video. Now, this is a PDF from J. Bart Klassen, MD. And it is a research article, Microbiology and Infectious Diseases. And by the way, I hadn't made a video in a couple days because for some reason my fucking tongue wouldn't work for me. I kept really butchering stuff, so I decided it's better to put nothing out than to put that out. And the title of this research article is COVID-19 RNA-based vaccines and the risk of prion disease. So I will be touching upon this in more detail in the second part of this video. We will be looking at what exactly does prion disease do to you, and it is thanks to Israeli news.
Good afternoon. This is.
Sorry about that. It is thanks to Israeli News Live that I found this paper, this article. And so I'm going to give credit to them. They do a lot of good work. They and Deborah Travers, I believe her name is, of StopTheCrime.net. So, you don't want to miss the second part of this video. It's going to be surprising. Alright. But first, they don't want us to go down that rabbit hole. New York Times decries critical thinking. It tells us to trust Google instead. The article, or an article from New York Times, claims that instead of engaging with someone that challenges your worldview, you should resist the lure of rabbit holes and go to more authoritative sources such as Google and Wikipedia. And remember, it's always the so-called authoritative sources that get caught lying to you time and time again. The New York Times appears to have declared war on traditional critical thinking, which they say isn't helping in the fight against misinformation. And again, if your body, if your soul is telling you that something is wrong with the information that's out there, then it's probably true. Sharing the insights of a digital literacy expert named Michael Caulfield, the article reads as follows. Quote, "We're taught that in order to protect ourselves from bad information, we need to deeply engage with the stuff that washes up in front of us," Mr. Caulfield told me recently. He suggested that the dominant mode of media literacy is that you'll get imperfect information and then use reasoning to fix that somehow. But in reality, that strategy can completely backfire. In other words, resist the lure of rabbit holes, in part by reimagining media literacy for the internet hellscape we occupy. And the only people making the internet a hellscape is them, is the neo-Bolsheviks. Okay. For further clarification, the New York Times digital literacy expert provides us with an example by investigating a post, and believe me, that word investigating is used very, very loosely, made by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on Instagram. He copied Mr. Kennedy's name in the Instagram post and popped it into Google. "Look how fast this is," he told me as he counted the seconds out loud. In 15 seconds, he navigated to Wikipedia and scrolled through the introductory section of the page, highlighting with his cursor the last sentence, which reads that Mr. Kennedy is an anti-vaccine activist and a conspiracy theorist, and which will tie us to wrong one. Tie us to this paper, or this paper here, and this explanation of what I will be talking about. Conspiracy theorists. Even though most of the information that we use comes from the so-called authoritative sources. In short, the New York Times and their so-called expert are telling us that instead of investigating the claims of someone that challenges the status quo and our understanding and perception of reality, we should instead avoid them and go directly to the authorities to tell us what to think. Remember, CIA, FBI edited Wikipedia entries. People using CIA and FBI computers have edited entries in the online encyclopedia Wikipedia on topics including the Iraq War, Guantanamo prison, according to a new tracing program. The changes may violate Wikipedia's conflict of interest guidelines, a spokeswoman for the site said on Thursday. And, of course, this is the exact opposite of how truth is actually established. But the problem here is they want their narrative out there. And they want everyone repeating their narrative instead of digging into information and finding out the truth for themselves. Now, what led me to look at that research paper is I kind of found it hard to believe that they would willingly put a product out that leads the individual to gaining some kind of prion disease. I thought that was fucking crazy. So, I go behind Israeli News Live and I look at the publication they cited and I'll be goddamned. See, they don't want you doing that. They don't want you to go and see the publication and read for yourself what this all means. No, they want you to take the word of Chris Cuomo and Anthony Fauci and Bill Gates, who are all fucking liars. And you know what the guy at the beginning of the video said, right? And they are all the same. There's an expression that rejecting something you know nothing about is the highest form of ignorance. And that's basically what the New York Times and their digital literacy expert are encouraging their followers to do. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. And man, are they going to great fucking lengths to make this happen? Come on, computer, come on. Come on, computer, come on. Bert. I'm going to have to pause it for a moment and get this fucker reloaded, which makes my patience wear thin. Now, over here at All News Pipeline, America is fully under the boot of corporate authoritarianism. As Texas and other states lift COVID restrictions, 14 corporations so far are still planning how to exert their control over Americans. Now, each and every one of these corporations should be boycotted. They should not get the business of freedom-loving individuals, because this is the opposite of what we love: freedom. And look at this here. Target. Boycott Target. Don't buy from them anymore. Macy's. Don't buy from them anymore. HEB Central Market. I don't even know who the fuck they are, so. But, you know, still. Don't buy from them. Kroger. Don't buy from them. These people are the exact opposite of freedom-loving. They are flaming authoritarians. And they love to exert their will upon you. Costco. Get rid of that Costco membership. Do you want a peaceful solution to the problems we have? Well, here's one for you. Stop buying their products. Stop buying the products of Coca-Cola and their woke culture bullshit. Stop buying from Costco, Kroger, Target, Kohl's. Quit buying from them. You want a peaceful solution? Quit participating in the system. Starbucks, and look, the very fact that Starbucks is connected to Bill Gates and Monsanto should be enough to get you to not buy their products. But if that wasn't enough, well, how about this one? CVS Pharmacy, don't buy from them. Walgreens, AMC Theaters, they're just asking for their company to collapse. Alamo's Draft House, don't buy from them. Don't stay at the Hyatt hotels. And if you have to go out of your way to find out which hotels are owned by them, it only takes a few seconds. Okay? Quit buying from these fucking control freak authoritarians. Toyota, GM. Don't buy a new GM car. Here's the bottom line, though, as they say it. These companies are deliberately going against governors that are trying to reopen their states and bring back their economies that have been devastated by lockdowns. And it's time for America to get back to normal, and that does not include allowing creeping corporate authoritarianism. And they say, let them know politely what you think. Fuck that. Fuck that politely shit. You let them know what you think. Exactly what you think of their authoritarianism. Stop buying from these companies. Alright? And it's no wonder that it must be on my other browser. It's no wonder they are trying to block everything we do. Yeah. Because they don't want you to go down these rabbit holes and find the information. And now, Bill Gates, Microsoft, Adobe, ARM, BBC, Intel, TruePic, they have formed a coalition to develop end-to-end open standard for tracing the origin and evolution of digital content. I wonder, though, when they trace the origin, if they'll trace it all the way back to, say, the CDC. I wonder. So, they really think it's up to them to dictate to us what we are to be thinking. They think it's up to them and to dictate to us every little facet of our lives. Are you prepared to have your life ran by these individuals who want you dead? Period. I don't. Now, let's move on to this one from Zero Hedge. Fear is the new smart. The Washington Post said recently the anti-blank movement is comparable to domestic terrorism and must be treated that